live. Right, this is one of my favorite times of the week when I come on and talk to individuals who are looking to better their lives, who are looking to build a business, to make sure that their business are stable, are sustainable. Thank you for all of those who are joining. I am asking that you like, share, and follow if you're not doing that. So, well, I'm missing one camera, but I guess I'm be okay. Lighting is good. So please like and share and follow if you're not. My name is Daniella Noel. I am a licensed financial broker out in Florida. Thank God we have some great weather. Yesterday was great. Today is great. I know the cold front is coming back, but hey, it is what it is. We're gonna have to deal with it, right? Although I live in Florida, I'm able to work with clients in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and Canada. My Caribbean people, my island, my Haitian, kote nou, kote nou, kote nou, it is Monday. Jeudi à c'est lundi, c'est jour, c'est le mwen préféré. Nan semaine nan, c'est le mwen vini, vin parler avec nous, vin aider nous financièrement. Moun qui vle improuver la vie, ou moun qui vle faire succès dans la vie, ou moun qui gen business, yo veut business yo marché, moi vini le lundi pour moi parler avec nous. Non, moi c'est Daniella, pour moun qui pas connaît, moi c'est un broker financier, côté que moi aider moun sur tout ça qui gagne soit à faire de l'argent. Moi même parler de l'argent, moi aimer l'argent. L'argent son énergie, so nous supposer nous attirer l'argent, bah, apprendre comment l'argent marche et puis pour nous capable gagner pile l'argent, pour nous grandir l'argent nous, pour nous quitter l'argent pour famille nous. Right? So I had to bring the energy. We're going to be talking to women today, right? March is National Women's Month, right? So where are my women? You know, where are the women? I see Sienna is here with me. Who are the other women that are joining, right? So we know that we rule the world, right? We rule no matter what they say, right? The world cannot go on without us. So we women, we rule the world, right? So I want to talk to you today who's maybe finding yourself in a situation that you don't know about money. And I see that every day when I start talking about what I do, the strategies, how we can protect ourselves. And people are saying, okay, where is this information? Where this information has been, right? So women, we need to be in control, right? So again, March is Women's History Month, right? So all my women, tap yourself on the back. You deserve to be here. You deserve a seat at the table, right? And you know it. If they don't give us one, we're gonna create one, right? So moi ça c'est moi côté que célébrer femme. So mars c'est moi femme. So femme moi yo montre moi et que nous là, que nous vivons, que nous jam, right? So c'est ça c'est pour nous capables apprendre comment que nous capables de l'argent, faire l'argent, grandir l'argent, right? So as women, one of the most powerful things a woman can do is take control of her financial future, right? So do not leave it up to chance. Do not, if you are married, do not say, hey, my husband handle it. It's fine. Your husband can handle it, but you need to be in the know because, life happens, yes, we do vow until death do us part. Death may come, but other situations in life happens, divorce, right? What are you going to do when you leave everything up to your husband? You gotta be in the know. I love it when the men, right, take control of the finances, but you as a woman, you need to know, how much is in the bank, how many bank accounts we have, right? So the savings, do we have emergency funds? Those are the things that are foundation for a good financial life, financial future, right? Life insurance. Do we have life insurance? Do we have enough life insurance? If one of us should pass, or if you pass, right? We're talking to the woman today. If the husband pass, do you have enough life insurance to pay off the mortgage, to pay off the debt? If you have kids, do you have enough life insurance, right? Do you have enough money to ensure that the kids go to college, right? Because even though the breadwinner may have gone, whether it's divorce or death, you still need to live on with the kids, right? And moreover, if you are single, this is, you need to tune in, right? So I'm talking to you. We have to get a handle of our finances, right? So today we're not just talking about protection, right? We're talking about security, not only emotionally, but financially, right? Physically. So we need, right, to ensure that our future is secure, right? So again, we know life happens, right? So what do we do? What do we do when life happens? How do we handle the situations of life, right? So the foundations, right, for us as women to get control of our finances. Yes, March is Women's History Month. So we're going to, all month, I'm going to be talking about women, how we can improve, right? Not only for our family, for ourselves, our family, our community, because our community depends on us, right? So I am encouraging those who are viewing to like, share, and follow if you are not following me. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Benefit Drake. Right. So let me share quick stats with you guys. About 35% of women can confidently say they have a handle on their finances, meaning that, hey, they know how much they're making, how much they're spending, how much they're saving, investing, right? So listen, and it's much greater with men. It's 55%. So 35% of women, right, can only answer confidently that they have control or they are in the know about their finances. There's an issue with that. We should all know about our finances. We should have control of our finances. And reason being, if we are married, we leave it up to the men. We don't, as long as the bills are paid, the kids are cared for, right? We go on vacation. We don't pay attention, but we need to pay attention to that, right? So I have two devices and I have the TV. So I'm currently live on Roku, so I have to look here. So just so that you guys know I'm not ignoring you guys. So I have a TV in front of me, right? So what do we need to do as women? Right? So we need to bring that confidence level up. We need to bring it up like to 75%, 80%, 100% to be in the know about our finances, right? So now, the reason why we should have good control, have control over our money, we are living longer than men. If you are married, statistics showing that we are living 6 to 10 years after your spouse is deceased. So what are you gonna do? Now, if you were in a marriage, the man was handling the finances, you didn't know where anything was, right? So you lose that income. Is that going to be chaotic for you and the kids, right? So again, we're seeing that women are living longer than men. So we need to get to the point of knowing everything about our finances. Please like, share, and follow if you're not following me, right? So while our confidence with money, right, is low, but we control right? 51% of personal wealth. Again, 51%. So we become majority because we are the biggest consumers, right? We make sure that, the groceries done, bills are paid, kids are taken care of, the vacation, right? So again, we are the majority in building wealth, right? Personal wealth. But yet, when it comes to money, when it comes to financial literacy, only 35% of us can confidently say we know about money. But we're about to change that because all month long I'm going to be talking about finances for women with women. So I hope that you're going to stick with me. You're going to come back, right? And then join in the conversation. So I look forward to see your questions, your comments, right? Hey, women, how much do you know about money? On a scale of 1 to 10, how knowledgeable are you with money? Again, another stat, right? By 2030, women, we are expecting, right, to have control of $30 trillion, right, in assets in the US alone. So, like, imagine that. If we really knew about money, can you imagine how much damage, we would be able to do having, our wealth being expected at $30 trillion? You see why? Hi, Mrs. K. How you doing? You see how much we can do by having better control of our money, right? So, how do we build? Why such a disparity or a financial literacy gap between men and women? And of course, we know in a marriage situation, yeah, the husband is the lead, is the head, right? Not being religious, but right, they tend to lead more while we take care of the house. Even if we are working, we take care of the house, take care of the kids. So men is always the lead. So we look to men to lead and in the financial space as well, right? So again, historically, women were legally excluded from financial systems. If we look back, right? So it wasn't until later on that we had to fight, right? In the 70s, that we had to fight for equal opportunity, right? So that we can have bank accounts, we can have savings, right? So we can get our hands on money, right? So again, culturally, girls, women, we were not put in position, to handle money, to handle finances. So that really hurts us, right? So, and of course, most cultures, money is not even discussed at the table, let alone, right, sitting down your girl and teaching them, how to budget, how to save it, how a dollar works, right? So again, we can change that. We are here now. It's not too late. Thank you for those who are following on Facebook. Please like, share, and follow. I really like you guys to share the lives. All you have to do is tap, 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 right? Tap, tap, tap. That's all you need to do. Okay. So again, we've always been at a disparity, at a disadvantage because we were not included in certain conversations, right? So culturally, we were left out when it comes to teaching about finances, about money. The boys, since they are seen as the leader, so they're the one who were taught about financial literacy, about wealth building, um hey, investing. But the table has turned. We are taking over. So but we need to learn, right? So we need to learn how to work those things out. Again, it comes with confidence, by learning, reading, right? So a lot of the information that we need to know are in books, right? YouTube have audiobooks on finances, right? So again, connect with me if you are looking for a good book that can help you. One of my favorite authors for women is David Bach. He's not sponsoring me. I'm not getting any money, but he has a book that's called Smart Women, right? Finish strong, finish last. So listen, we need to build strong women, and we need to bring financial literacy to our schools, to our young girls, so that they're not waiting till they get old, right? Adult, and learning, starting behind the eight ball, right? So again, there's a great disparity when it comes to poverty, right? Because we are the caregivers, we have the household responsibilities. So we really don't have much time to build on our financial literacy and financial planning. But today, we're going to change that. Today, you can start, right? You can start. Hi, Renette. Hi, Verlene. We can start today. Today is a great day to start, being that March is National Women's Month. So let's take control of our finances, right? So again, we see the stats, right? We are living longer, meaning that your money has to last. So and think about it. If you are married and your spouse should pass, how are you going to survive? How are you going to survive? Will you be okay? Will the kids be okay? Because remember, that income that you lose, the breadwinner is no longer here. You have to make up the difference. Okay, do you have enough, right? And if when your husband passed, how much, do you have, and how long will you survive on whatever is left? So it is important that you secure your bag, right? So we see about 80% of women will be solely responsible for their finances. 80% of women will be responsible for their own finances. Are you putting yourself in a position to be responsible for your finances? Right? Again, divorce, death, we have to make sure, or those who never married. So you have to ensure that your financial wealth is stable, right? Is stable. Again, we are the one to become the caregivers, taking in your parents, caring for your husband's parents, right? So we really have to keen in to our financial goals, right? You may be married. What is the financial goal for the family? Again, I always encourage my audience, my clients, hey, have a monthly meeting. Beginning of the year, have a yearly meeting. Okay, where are we going financially with this family? Even if you're a single parent, sit down with your kids. Okay, this is where we at. What do we want to do for the year? What do we want to do? Where do you want to go vacationing? Right? Welcome, Max. Thank you. Would you please like, share, and follow the live? Thank you. Right, so that we can bring some more people on here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Right, so March is National Women's Month. So this conversation, I know I have a lot of guys. This conversation is for the women. I'm sorry, guys, right? So we see that 51% of women, right, is responsible for the wealth in the world, right? We see that by 2030, women's assets will be about $30 trillion. So we need to bring financial literacy to the forefront so that we know how to better manage our money, right? Whether it is you are single, single with kids, single with no kids, never been married, married, divorce, right? Those are the facts of life. Those are the facts of life. And listen, we just need to be prepared for them. Now remember, proper preparation prevent poor performance, right? Planning. What does your financial plan looks like? Have you sat down and write some goals that you want to achieve this year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Some people are planning out 20 years, right? I'm a short-term planner, no more than 10 years, so yeah, 1, 5, and 10. But some people, they are long-term. So whatever fits you, wherever you want to go, have that in writing. Write a plan, write a plan, make it plain, have it in writing. If it's in your head, it's really hard to come into fruition, right? So my people on Roku, so I have two devices. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Roku. So if you guys see me watching here, that's what I'm doing, right? So again, those people who are on Roku, hey, share your experiences with the station. Thank you, Radio Télépuissance, for making this possible, right? We are getting confirmation. A lot of people are watching, and a lot of people are heeding to the information. So we come on every Monday between 1 and 1:30 to just share information. I have nothing to sell you guys, right? Unless you want to buy something. I have nothing to sell, just providing information, because I truly believe my mission, my purpose is to elevate my community. And I'm doing that by financial literacy, by bringing to the forefront the things that we should have been taught in school, not being taught in school. Because when you know better, you do better, right? So the gender gap means that women hold on an average 50 cents, right, of every dollar of a man's hold. So a dollar. So we are holding 55 cents, 55%, right, of every dollar in the financial system, in the wealth system. So again, we really likely manage your money alone at some point. The question is, are you ready? Well, will you be ready? Right? If you go through a divorce, if your husband died, will you be ready to handle your money? Right? So, what does financial literacy really mean for us women? Again, I'm going to break it down in simple forms. I'm going to say some words that may be curse words to some, but hey, trust me, we need to learn those things, right? The first thing, budgeting, right? Some people don't like the word, don't like, they get triggered. No, I'm telling you, do not get triggered by the word. We need to budget, right? Every corporation, even the government budget, right? They're on a deficit. You do not want to run your house, your family on a deficit. So you need to know what's coming in, what's going on. That's the basic of a budget. Are you making enough money, right? Are you overspending? What are you spending your money on? Are you allocating every dollar that you receive, right? Every dollar should have a job. It is not hard at all, right? To create a budget. A budget is simply knowing what's coming in and what's going out. That's very simple. You can do that on a notebook, right? Hey, you can do that on a spreadsheet. If you don't know Excel, hey, open, Chat AI. I say, hey, create a spreadsheet for me. You don't need to know Excel. Chat can create that for you. Hey, I want to track my expenses. I want to create a simple budget. Chat can do that for you. You have a phone, you don't need a computer. Go on your phone, go to chat.ai and give it a command. Hey, create a simple budget sheet for me. Download it, keep it on your phone. You can use your bank, right? They offer tracking your expenses and your income. We need to know where our money is going. That is the biggest downfall when it comes to our inability not only to manage but to get a leg up, financially. Now we are working and we are struggling to make ends meet. You don't have to, right? So, especially in America, we don't necessarily have a money problem. We have a management problem. We don't know how to manage our money. There are situations, there are cases where, yeah, you're not making enough money. Hey, guess what? Get with me. I can show you how to create a second stream of income, right? Like just a few hours a week, just a few hours a day, right? You can generate a second stream of income and you can have it, build it, and set it on autopilot. Let it work for you, right? If you need an extra 500, extra $1,000, to breathe financially, hey, get your side hustle, right? But again, it starts with a budget. Where is your money going? Do you have a handle on that? Again, every dollar, there should be an intention behind every dollar that you earn. Don't just have the money come in and you swiping with no control. We need, if we are, right, to say confidently that we know about money and we are educated financially, we need to start with that, right? Have your budget. Your everything that you spend has an intention behind it. Every dollar that you earn must have a job, right? Again, money is energy. We need to build good relationships with our money. We don't chase money, we attract money. So therefore the energy has to be right. The mindset has to be right, right? If you look at money as evil, guess what? Money gonna run from you. It's not gonna stay, right? Again, hi Emmanuel, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Good morning. It is good afternoon in America. Thank you for joining. So would you please like, share, and follow those who are not following me? This conversation is really around women, but we all can learn from it, right? Do you have a budget? Do you know where your money's going, right? Do you know where the holes in your boats are when it comes to your finances? So the first thing is a budget, right? It takes time. It can take you 60 to 90 days to really get control because you're going to start tracking, what are you spending? Debt, understanding interest. Oh my God. It's not a matter of how much you keep, right? Your interest. Interest is killing us. Interest is killing us. Hey, review your credit cards. Review your car loan, right? Some people think, hey, if they have a car, they got an interest rate, they locked in. Guess what? You can get that refinanced, get you a lower rate, but you have to make sure your credit is right, right? So debt management, there are good debts and bad debt, right? So a good debt, right, is a debt that is generating income for you. So do you have debt that you just paying out, right? That's bad debt. But we need to focus on creating debt or having debt that is cash flowing for us. They don't only say cash is king. No, cash flow is king, right? So you may have cash coming in, but at the end of the day, if you're still in the red, right? If you have a property, your mortgage is like $1,300 and the rent is only $1,000, you're in the red, so there is no cash flow. So you need to be, investing in debt, in bad debt, right? that are in debt that is cash flowing, asset producing income, right? So again, know what you have. Inviting you, I am advising you, hey, go online, get your my free annual credit report, making sure that everything that says, on your credit report belongs to you. Errors do happen, right? Social securities get transposed. Guess what? You may be stuck with a debt that's not yours, but by reviewing, thank you, Emmanuel, for liking the live. Thank you for pushing me out. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Appreciate you much. So, please, those on Facebook, let's go. Like, share, and follow. Like, share, and follow. And that's all you guys have to do. Tap, tap, tap. That's all you need to do. Right? Love it, love it, love it. I'm very excited about this month where I get to talk to women, uplift women. Hey, Tamika Smith, welcome. Get to talk to women because we do control the world, right? 51% of assets belong to us, right? So therefore, we need to learn how money really works. So it's still a men's world when it comes to investing, right? Trading, but we can get into that game and outplay them. So let's go, my women. Let's go, ladies. So let's go. Again, debt. We need to learn how to manage our debt. Tax season is here. What are you gonna do with your tax return? If you're getting a return, reduce your debt, allocating, some of that money to your debt. Don't just go to Gucci, to Jimmy Choo, or Christian Louis Vuitton. Hey, those are good too. I love it. You see how good I look? I love good stuff, but we need to make sure that we are investing into the right stuff, not just things just to show off, right? The days of living like the Joneses are long gone, right? We have to live for ourselves, for our community, and for our legacy. Whether you have, thank you, whether you have kids or not, right? You can still build legacy, for your god kids. I have a client, she's very excited, right, to get a policy. I'm praying she gets approved because she is super excited to leave college funds for her goddaughter. She doesn't have natural kids, natural birth kids. Guess what? She has an adopted son. She wants to make sure that he's okay, right? Goddaughter is barely a year old, wants to make sure, right? She'll be bickering with the mom, that's not your money, that's for my goddaughter's money. That is great. That is her legacy. What is your legacy? Women, come on, let's rise up and build those legacies, build wealth, and leave legacy for our family, for our community. Thank you for all of those who are watching. Chucky, welcome. Joey, welcome. Kamara, welcome. So, yes, I am on live on Roku and then live on TikTok and Facebook. Yes, so we are covering um, all avenues, right, of social media. So, because the information needs to get out there, right? We see that when it comes to financial literacy, especially in my community, Black, Brown, I'm from the islands, and we are on the bottom low. I am embarrassed to say, right? So that's why I make it my business to come on every Monday, right, and talk to you guys. So I'll be going on a 7-day streak on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok. My name on TikTok is Daniella.Noel08, right? So that you can get some nuggets. I will be dropping some nuggets this week, how to improve, right? So the second thing, credit. We love to swipe, right? We love to use other people's money, but in a negative way, right? We need to learn how to use other people's money to generate money for us, not just putting money in their pockets. Yeah, the credit cards, you're using somebody else's money, but you have to pay it a lot of times with a high interest, especially if you're only paying the minimum. Guess what? Oh my God. Yeah, you will never see the end of that debt, right? So knowing your credit score, how it affects you, your credit score affect your rating, right? Fazy Zoo, hey, welcome. Please like, share, and follow. If you're not following me, please follow me, like the live, right? So that we can let the algorithm know that we are here and be able to share with more people. Your credit score, especially in America, I don't know how that's done in Europe or other part of the country. Your credit score in America, oh my God, is your passport to wealth, right? Your credit score will determine if you pay 5% versus 10%, right? Interest on anything that you are buying, or even if you can qualify, right? They're looking at you because what your credit says, it talks about character, right? That you are someone who cares about your finances, that you are disciplined, right? So that is, may that be a real indicator, but when brokers are looking at your credit, okay, how disciplined are you when it comes to your money, right? Even employers look at your credit report. That shows discipline, that shows your true character. So, hey, know what your credit score is. Again, pull up your My Free Annual Credit Report to make sure that everything on your credit report belongs to you. Dispute whatever you can dispute, because in the long run it will help you. Hi, MC, would you please like the live, like, share, and follow, like, share, and follow, tap, tap, tap. That's all you guys need to do. It doesn't cost you much. So let's tap that screen so that the algorithm know that I am here, right? So it matters. Your credit score matters. I was saying earlier, so a lot of times people don't know that you need to be shopping around for your car insurance, right? Your home, you would have to refinance, right? Car insurance every 6 months, right? You need to be shopping for better rates, as long as you have no accidents, no tickets, you are likely to get to reduce your rate. Also, if you bought a car last year and your interest rate was 6%, 8%, 10%, whatever it was, right? You don't have to keep that. You're not locked in to that rate. You can call the bank, call the lender, say, hey, I want to, refinance for a lower rate. Some will do it, most of them will not. Then you go somewhere else, right? Women, we need to build relationship with our community banks, small banks, credit unions, right? A lot of times they give you better rates, right? Again, if you didn't know that, I know we love the big banks, but also do not sleep on your community banks. Everyone should have an account with a credit union. You should get to know your banker at those local banks. Guess what? They will call you in when they have promotions, when they have specials. Again, if you bought a car last year and your interest was high, like 5, 6, 7, 10, 15%, right? And hopefully by now that your credit score, has improved, guess what? You can refinance that for a lower rate. Call your bank, whoever you have on the loan with, ask them if they would reconsider, review your credit score and get you a lower interest. If they say no, go to a credit union. I'm speaking from experience, right? And it is known credit unions give you lower interest rates. So get your car refinance, lower that payment, and apply that. Whatever, even if it's $50, apply that $50 to a debt, $100 to a debt, right? So that you can reduce your debt and start saving, so you can invest, right? So again, call your car insurance, see how you can lower your monthly premium. your credit cards. You can call them too and negotiate your rates, right? Don't be afraid. What's the worst they can say? No. And what happens? Right? Life goes on, right? So we women are great negotiators. We just don't leverage that, right? So again, women, we need to amplify our financial literacy. We need to improve. We need to grow in our literacy when it comes to finances. You know, whether you are married, single, with kids, no kids, or a widower, we need to learn about the things of money. We need to know how money works, right? Don't just leave it up to chance. If you are married, hey, yes, your husband, right, is the lead, is the head of the household, right? Um, but you need to be in the know too. And don't just say, hey, my husband, hey, Dominic, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So those who are on the live who's not liking, all you have to do is tap, 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 right? And I welcome gifts too. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's great, if you rely on your husband, to handle the finances, if he's considered the breadwinner, it's fine, Hey, show respect, show homage to your husband, but be in the know because life happens, right? Life happens. Sometimes, we hear and see, people were very happily married, and the next day the guy is gone, the husband is gone. Okay, what happened? We were happy. I guess you missed the red flags, right? Anyway, so you have to be in the know what's coming in, what's going out, what is your financial state. Your kids, if you have kids, do you have college planning for them? Are you gonna wait till they get 17 and start looking, for potential grants or scholarship? No, start planning again. Proper preparation prevent poor performance, right? So when it comes to college, we see about 65% of kids don't finish their college education because of lack of finances. So work with your husband. We have kids. Okay, what are we gonna do? What are we going to do to ensure that they go to college if that's what they want to do and they stay in college, right? So, again, women, we need to have a budget. We need to know our debt to income ratio. That's another thing, right? Really affect you when you go buy that house, when you go buy that car, your debt to income ratio, how much debt you have, what is the plan to get rid of your debt, right? So let me tell you, oh my God, drowning in debt is such chaos. There is no financial peace. There is no peace, right? Because if you looking at your phone, everybody who's calling is a collector, is a debt collector. That is that brings so much anxiety, right? Yes, been there, lived it. Thank God, right? Credit, savings, right? Savings. Don't spend every dollar that you have. So you need to have every dollar should have a job. We should be allocating every dollar that we have. Hello, J Money. J Money, thank you for coming in. Right? Please like, share, and follow. Um, right? Don't spend every dollar. Every dollar you have should have a job. Whether it is, you can, when you have your money and you're doing your budget, some people go by the 50-30-20 rule, 50% for expenses, your housing, food, utilities, right? 30% is, right, savings, and 20% investing, right? So again, your church, don't forget the church, right? We are now, I don't want to go to church, but I'm going to go anyway, right? So we are, for those who are believers, we are managers, right? We don't own it. It does not belong to you. You were created to manage God's wealth, right? God's gifts. So how are you managing what God has entrusted you, right? So again, we need to be good stewards, right? Again, by having a budget, get a handle on our debt, knowing our credit or reduce our credit, right? Credit usage, savings. What's the difference? Do we have an emergency funds? It shows that in America, the average emergency is about $300, and yet we don't have that, right? So let's start with an emergency fund. It could be $1,000, right? So that when that $300 um emergency comes, you have it. You don't have to go to the payday loan. You don't have to phone a friend who may say, oh, I don't have it, right? Because listen, we should not be depending on our friends to be our saviors, right? Some friends, hey, you tell them you have an issue. If they have it, they can help, they will help, but we should not depend on our friends, because sometimes they have it. Money can ruin relationship, so they would prefer to say they don't have it, right? There is nothing worse than, you call someone and say, hey, I have this situation, and they say, oh, I have a bigger situation. So let's not put ourselves in that situation, right? So let's build our emergency funds so that when things happen, we can, right, come through for ourselves. Investing. A lot of people are doing this backwards, right? They want to get into crypto, they want to buy stocks. Yeah, it's great. But if you don't have an emergency fund, if you don't have a savings, so ideally you want to have at least 3 months to start, 3 months worth of your income, right? To cover your expenses. Because if you should lose your job, right? It may take you 3 months, it may take you 6 months. So ideally, you want to build up to 6 months, 12 months, worth of expenses saved, so that when something happens, you lose a job, you lose a spouse, whether it's through death or divorce, your life will not crumble financially. You will not run into chaos, right? So again, you cannot be investing in crypto and stocks if you don't have any emergency funds, if you don't have savings. So we do things backwards, right? We need to have foundation, and financial stability starts with those things, with those pillars: budgeting, debt, credit, savings, investing, right? You cannot be investing. You have to look at your return on your investment, your ROI versus, debt that you are paying. So again, another pillar is insurance. How are you protecting what you're building? Are you protecting your income? Are you protecting your family? Right? So we protect everything: the cars, the phones, right? The weave, the Louis, right? With the jewelry. But a lot of times we're not protecting our family, we're not protecting our income. So we need to position ourselves, right, to have protection. Life insurance, right, is a foundation for financial freedom. Because guess what? When you lose an income, the breadwinner passed, guess what? You don't have to lose the house. The kids' college fund is secure, right? Your future is secure. That's what life insurance do. Life insurance provide a foundation for financial peace. So if you are one, right, I'm sure that you are, because you wouldn't be here, right? You are looking for that pillar, for that foundation to build financial wealth. Guess what? Life insurance is a great foundation, right? Life insurance goes straight to your beneficiaries. It avoid going through probate, and it's tax free. Some people don't know that life insurance is the only income, right, that is yet to be taxed. Retirement. What are you doing for your retirement? Are you putting money in the right strategies? Are you only leveraging your 401k? Will your 401k be sufficient, right, for your retirement? So you have to look at those strategies. So it's not complicated, guys, right? You just need to have strategies. I know financial literacy is not taught in school, but We can start now, right? So, hey, coming to those sessions, those live sessions, applying what you learning, right? So that you can have a better future. Again, my name is Daniella. I'm a licensed financial broker. I help individuals in all 50 states, including Canada and Puerto Rico. So if you are one that you don't know, like your financial literacy is low, you want to learn more, hey, DM me strategy, right? DM me plan so we can get together. I do not charge for my services. So everything I do for my clients is free, 99. So you have nothing to lose. Let's get together. Let's do a financial need analysis. See where you at, where you are going, the vehicle that you are leveraging. Will it take you to that destiny, right? Again, let's get in the know. I know it will be daunting at first, going through your money. Okay, where you spending needlessly, right? Again,